Hello, Makati. Hello, world. This is Attorney Angel, and I'm your legal angel. Hi, my fellow angels. We're now on lecture number 4 on our basic legal ethics lecture series. Enjoy watching and listening. I hope you learned something from this. We now have the topic about the Legal Education Board in the case of Pimentel et al. Versus LEB. And of course, thank you very much to my former students in basic legal ethics. Thank you to the group of Miss Cuacoyes for allowing me to use their infographics for purposes of this vlog. Okay. So the Legal Education Board, or LEB. This was created by virtue of RA 7662, otherwise known as the Legal Reform Act of 1993. And the aim was for the creation of LEB to act as a government agency regulating legal education in the Philippines through accrediting law schools, providing law curricula, establishing qualifications, and remuneration of professors in law schools, among others. And as you can see here, their vision is the formation of lawyers, academics, and scholars in the study of law and jurisprudence, as well as their mission, which is pursuant to its statutory mandate to assist all law schools in the country so that these law schools will be able to provide the kind of legal education that would prepare lawyers to be competent legal practitioners deserving of public trust, as well as to hone the research skills of legal scholars who will advance understanding in the science of jurisprudence, and to enhance leadership potentials of all who attend law school so that they may assume various roles of leadership in society. Okay. It also aims to help the schools in the country, law schools in the country, achieve a measure of excellence in comparison to international best practices. And just additional fun facts about the LEB. So the shield, the LEB symbol of the shield, it represents a shield against political oppression and bigotry and the evil deeds of men. Then the torch, it signifies the learning of education. Okay, 1993, the year of establishment of LEB. The background of the shield is color purple, and the scale, also the image of the scale to represent the color of law and justice. And then the Latin words lex excellentia virtus, meaning law, excellence, and virtue. Okay. Manifests the goal of the legal education, which is the formation of lawyers who shall not be only learned or excellent in the law, but men and women of character or virtues. And then the Commission on Higher Education is an ex officio member or sits as the chairperson of the Commission on Higher Education sits as an ex officio member of the LEB, or his or her representative. Okay, there is a bonus question here. Can ethics be taught? Which I also used for one of the activities in legal ethics. In connection with the LEB, if you remember, there were oral arguments live streamed via YouTube in the YouTube channel of the Supreme Court. And this was the case of Pimentel et al. Versus Legal Education Board. Pimentel et al., Judge Pimentel, together with other law professors, lawyers, and law students, petitioned to have the PhilSat, or the Philippine Law School Admission Test, be declared as unconstitutional. So they filed this petition against the Legal Education Board. Now, as we know, the Legal Education Board, as discussed earlier, was created via 7662, RA 7662, or the Legal Reform Act of 1993. Now, the LEB required the taking of the PhilSat or the Philippine Law School admission test for those who are interested or who were interested in taking up the study of law. Now, the petitioners filed this petition because, according to them, it is an encroachment upon the rulemaking power of the court in the practice of law. It is a violation of the institutional academic freedom of the legal education institutions and a violation of the right to education. On the other hand, the Legal Education Board, represented by the Office of the Solicitor General, argued that the power to regulate admission to the practice of law does not include the power to regulate the legal education, and the PhilSat is the minimum standard for entrance in law schools. Okay, so the argument of respondent is that the right to education is not absolute and it may be regulated by the state. Now, among the issues, we have whether or not the court has the power to regulate legal education, whether or not RA 7662, Section 7, Paragraph E, giving the Legal Education Board the power to prescribe the minimum standards for law admission is unconstitutional as it violates the doctrine of separation of power, and whether or not LEBMO number 7-2016, which prescribes the PhilSat, violated the institutional academic freedom and the examinee's right to education, or the aspirant's right to education. The court held that the power to promulgate rules in all courts affirms that the supervision and regulation of legal education is a political exercise where judges are still allowed to participate not as an independent branch of government, but as part of the sovereign people. The courts find no constitutional conflict between the court's rulemaking power and the power of the LEB. The LEB's power to prescribe admission requirements only to those seeking enrollment to a school and not to the practice of law. Section 7, Paragraph E gives the LEB the power to prescribe the minimum standards for admission, is faithful to the reasonable supervision and regulation clause, not amounting to control. There are certain provisions of the PhilSat which exclude applicants who failed to pass for taking up legal education, thereby restricting admissions to law school. And these provisions of the PhilSat are unconstitutional for being violative of the law school's exercise of academic autonomy to determine who it shall allow to be admitted. So, henceforth, the PhilSat was already discarded, and so the schools, the legal education institutions, are given the power and the authority to prescribe the standards and the requirements or qualifications to be able to enter that particular law school. Like, for example, for the University of Makati School of Law, we have the UMAC LSAT or UMAC Law School Admission Test, after which, if you pass the UMAC LSAT, you will be undergoing a panel interview, and if you pass the panel interview, then you will be considered admitted and you will be able to apply, you will be able to enroll at the UMAC School of Law. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much for watching and for listening. Be kind, be a blessing to others, and always remember to glorify God with a grateful heart. This is Attorney Angel, and I'm your legal angel. Sarang